More power than Tyson. One-punch knockouts, Tommy Morrison. Morrison signed a $38 million contract with Don King in December 1995, which guaranteed him a fight against Mike Tyson when he was released from prison in late 1996. It was a three-fight agreement that, win or loss, would lead to a match between Morrison and Tyson. Do you think Morrison had more power than Tyson? Who would have won that fight? Let's have a closer look at a career of extraordinary Tommy Morrison. The Duke Tommy Morrison, American boxer who competed professionally from 1988 to 2008, won the WBO Heavyweight Championship in 1993. When he discovered he had HIV in 1996, he stopped boxing. Thought to have a punch more potent than the renowned Mike Tyson in the 1990s, the boxer's career ended tragically. The Duke battled and defeated opponents like George Foreman and Donovan Razor Rudolph during his career. Morrison is also well known for playing Tommy Gunn in Rocky V, a young talented fighter that Rocky mentored before the two became enemies. Morrison versus Foreman. Morrison faced off against heavyweight boxing icon George Foreman in June 1993 in a rematch for the WBO Championship. Foreman was also making a comeback at the time. A thrilling fight was anticipated between the two punching heavyweights, but Morrison opted to stay out of Foreman's face and focus on boxing from a distance instead. Morrison was able to punch and move well in this manner, and after a closely contested battle, he won a unanimous 12-round decision and the WBO title. Neither fighter knocked their opponent down, nor did they put their opponent in any real danger. Battle of raw power, Morrison versus Ruddock. Before facing former #1 contender Razor Ruddock for the IBC heavyweight title, Morrison won 3 fights in 1995 by KO. Ruddock lost 3 of his last 6 fights before Morrison. Morrison recovered from Ruddock's first-round knockdown to force a standing count in round 2 and fight evenly for 5 rounds. In the 6th round, Ruddock injured Morrison with a rapid combination, but Morrison answered with a huge hook that sent Ruddock down. Ruddock got up, but Morrison threw him to the ropes and pounded him. The referee ruled Morrison the TKO winner just before the bell. Some ring announcers thought the contest was prematurely terminated. However, the 3 knockdown rule applied. 2-time heavyweight champion Morrison. Tommy became WBC #2 after becoming the IBC champion. After defeating Ruddock, Morrison was supposed to challenge former undisputed heavyweight champion Riddick Bowe for his WBO heavyweight belt. However, Bowe pulled out to fight Evander Holyfield. Morrison focused on defending his title after losing his main title chance. Canceled fight with Tyson. Many boxing fans wanted to see Morrison and Tyson square off in the ring, and sadly the match never happened. Even after losing to Lennox Lewis, Tommy was still in the running for the boxing championship. Morrison signed a $38 million contract with Don King in December 1995, which guaranteed him a fight against Mike Tyson when he was released from prison in late 1996. It was a 3-fight agreement that, win or loss, would lead to a match between Morrison and Tyson. A few warm-up matches, and the decisive match against Iron Mike. Morrison was most known for his powerful left hooks, which would knock opponents out cold. HIV. The Nevada Athletic Commission found Morrison HIV positive in February 1996, just before his fight with Arthur Weathers. Nevada banned Morrison from boxing. Morrison's doctor tested positive a few days later. Morrison said he caught HIV via a permissive, quick, and reckless lifestyle. At a February 15, 1996 news conference, Morrison swore he would never fight again. On September 19, 1996, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Morrison said he wanted to fight one last time for his Knockouts Aid Foundation. Due to his Nevada suspension, Morrison may not fight in Oklahoma, according to an Oklahoma Professional Boxing Advisory Board representative. The Duke got a final fight in November 1996. George Foreman invited Morrison to fight on the undercard of his lineal championship defense against Crawford Grimsley in Japan. Marcus Rode, a 15-1 fighter, was his final opponent. Morrison could fight because Japan allowed HIV-positive boxers. If Morrison was caught, the bout was stopped. Morrison defeated Rode by TKO in the first 2 minutes despite not fighting since Lewis almost a year previously. Morrison retired a 2-time heavyweight champion with a 46-3-1 record and 40 KOs. Morrison's career earnings were roughly $10 million. Attempted comeback. When Morrison claimed that his HIV testing had produced false positive results in 2006, Nevada commissions withdrew the global indefinite suspension in July of the same year. The medical advisory group for the Nevada commissions examined Morrison's test results from 1996 and declared them to be ironclad and unmistakable. Morrison claimed he attempted to obtain a duplicate for the initial test result but was unsuccessful. "I don't think it ever existed," he added. Morrison could call the laboratory and they would instantly give the results to him, the commission stated. Morrison had 4 HIV tests that came back negative in January 2007. According to a New York Times article published on July 22, 2007, Morrison had 2 HIV tests in 2007 and a third one just for the paper. After analyzing the 3 tests, specialists on HIV came to the conclusion that the 1996 result had been a false positive. Doctors at the ringside, however, expressed skepticism, suggesting that Morrison's blood may not have actually been the basis for the negative results. The specialists concurred that there is no known cure for HIV. Morrison effectively resumed his boxing career when he started fighting again in 2007. Morrison received a license to fight in West Virginia after clearing the state's medical examinations in Arizona. He faced John Castle in February 2007 and prevailed. Morrison was permitted to fight Dale Ortiz in the 4-round heavyweight match at Houston Plaza Hotel in Texas at the second fight in his improbable comeback, after testing HIV negative in April 2007. Morrison was then removed from the fight card owing to a problem with the paperwork, which resulted in the documents being late. Since there was no regular HIV testing before fights at the time, Morrison was given the go-ahead to take on Matt Weishar in Leon, Mexico in February 2008. Morrison won the 3rd round TKO. Morrison has increased his winning streak to 48-3-1. In Laramie, Wyoming, at the Albany Fairgrounds in February 2009, Tommy competed in a boxing exhibition match against Wyoming State heavyweight champion Corey Williams under modified Muay Thai rules. Tommy won the fight through first-round TKO. This was referred to as a manufactured incident and a fake fight by the Kansas City Star. The Boxing Commission for Quebec, the RACI, required Morrison to undergo a monitored HIV test before to his scheduled 2011 fight. Morrison, now 42 years old, launched a final desperate effort to have another comeback fight in 2011. Morrison stated the examination would be of the same type as the one the Nevada gave in 1996, though he declined to take it. Morrison invited the Quebec Commission to a public exam in the place, but the commission declined it. If Quebec wouldn't grant him a license, Morrison threatened to move the dog and pony show somewhere else. Legal problems. Morrison was charged with assault and public intoxication in December 1993 when it was claimed that he assaulted a University of Iowa student. The pupil had allegedly been gazing at Morrison. Morrison admitted guilt, paid a $310 fine, and maintained his innocence. Morrison admitted to carrying a loaded gun in Jay, Oklahoma in October 1996 in exchange for a 6-month suspended sentence and a $100 fine. In a crash that wounded 3 people in 1997, an Oklahoma jury found him guilty of DUI, and the judge ordered Morrison to receive treatment. Morrison received a 2-year suspended sentence for a DUI in Oklahoma in September 1999. When the police pulled Morrison over on September 16, 1999, because he was driving recklessly, they discovered drugs and guns in his car, leading to a number of drug and firearm charges. Morrison was detained once more in November 1999 on suspicion of drinking and possession of a firearm while a felon, while he waited trial on the accusation from September 16. Morrison received a 2-year prison term on January 14, 2000 for the September 16 charges. He broke his parole in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and was sentenced to a further year in jail on April 3, 2002. However, he received credit for time already served. In 2011, Morrison was charged with drug possession in Kansas and was imprisoned for a month. Morrison was unable to care for himself during the last 20 months of his life and was in a state that was close to vegetative. His girlfriend, Tricia Harding, took care of him. He couldn't walk without assistance in 2013 and passed away at the age of 44. What do you think of this video? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.